So, another take because I just ate some sausage gumbo when I went to shoot this video. All that came out was this phlegmy, oh, welcome to the video. Had to start over again. But I will be moving from this house. And so that's why I'm not pulling out any new games to start because it's imminent. And while I sound very boxy here in my closet, it's a big closet, but I don't know what the situation is going to be over there. It's no carpet anywhere, so I get the feeling it's going to be very echoey. I'm going to have to figure out how to do something about that. And the other thing I was talking about doing Churchill because it's on the way, the third printing. And I had to go ahead and call GMT and tell them, hold up, don't mail it out yet. And they'll do that. They'll say, okay, yeah, sure. Just tell us when you want it to ship, and we'll ship it out. And although she said, please remember to do it, though, because we have people who have games like backlog from years, so we need to get them out of there. So if you got some, she told me to tell you, go get them out of there. Okay, but so that's not going to get played. All right, so here's my edit, and now we're in my car and waiting in line for the kids to get out of school. And apparently there's a drum line playing, so I don't know how well this tape is going to turn out, or this recording. Okay, why do I call it tape? What an old man. Okay, anyway. So, no, like I was saying, no Churchill yet. I got to wait for that, but I've been thinking about it. And brushing up on my World War II history, I got to confess to being a hopeless dilettante. And so my historical knowledge is historical dilettantism means that I really got giant holes in what I know about historical subjects. And World War II is one, although I tend to know a little bit more about it, probably more than a lot, although, it's decidedly American, so, three things: Pearl Harbor, D-Day, and Band of Brothers. Everything that went with that. Okay. And so here's a map of Churchill from the board game, and of course it's the European theater. And briefly, you're just advancing the front along here, and of course we have the Soviets coming in from the east. And as this Soviet steamroller picks up, you'll see these little squares down at the bottom here. These are the countries that you're liberating on the way, and you're trying to peddle influence in these. And the first one you come to is a country you may have heard of regarding World War II, and that is Poland, which I hear me being a dilettante again. I not only know very little about the history, I know little about Poland. Three things: Kielbasa, John Paul II, and winged hussars. And the only reason I know about the hussars is from Sabaton. So Kielbasa. Oh, I actually worked for a Polish car dealer at one point, and he would come and we'd cook up some kielbasa, and it was good. It's meat. How can you go wrong? But anyway, so I've been boning up on that, and in particular, I got kind of hooked on the Warsaw Uprising in 44. August 44 is when I believe it started. First day of August, I believe. And the way I came into that is unusual in that I came from a video game called, Warsaw. And it's basically, if you've played Darkest Dungeon, it's basically the same thing, except they've swapped out a fantasy setting for the Polish underground versus the Nazis. It's a good game. I enjoyed it, and you can get it for cheap, so it's worth checking out. It's worth playing once to get through it. The subject matter is so grim, though. I can't imagine just it being a regular game. It's low budget. It's not high graphics or anything like that. And I gotta say, playing that game, all I could think about is, wow, if we could use this setting with the XCOM system. Wow, you got different sections of the city and you got to pick one to do versus the other, and let the others kind of slide and things like that. Yeah, XCOM, you can customize your guys. and weapons and all that stuff, and tactical, and that's how I first learned about the really about the uprising. And they do a lot of, I think a lot of the personalities in it are real historical personalities, and so that got me to looking a little further into the uprising. And the next thing I found was the movie Warsaw 44, which is a excellent film. Right now it's on Amazon. Amazon Prime. I think it's one of those free with ads deals, which I don't like. They always put the ads in the weirdest spots. It really breaks with the flow. But if you were really desperate to watch it, you could do that. It's good. It really portrays it well. Although I gotta give you a warning. They make some weird artistic choices. So one of these scenes, the Polish underground captures a tank, but the Germans have fooled them, and they planted explosives in it, and when everyone surrounded the tank, they just detonated it and blew everyone to pieces, which apparently was a real historical event, and it really did blow, body parts all over the place. But then we get this scene in here where it's just raining blood, and it's so over the top. I mean, there's no dirt, there's no debris coming down out of the sky. It's just blood. It's just raining blood. You can see it, and you can almost think, oh, well, why didn't they just put the Slayer song in here while they're doing it? Like, kind of like this. Yeah, so that's one of the main characters there, who is one of, it seems like almost 15 of these jaw-droppingly gorgeous Polish women. And so, but the music is kind of, even though I made a joke about putting Slayer in it, that's not much of a joke, because a lot of the music in there is just really just doesn't jive with the historical setting. And so you'll get to the next, further along down the movie here, we got the main hero here, and he's going at it with another one of the gorgeous Polish women here, and during battle, and all of a sudden it breaks into this dubstep music, and hey, I'll play it for you. And yeah, I'm not overdubbing this. This is the music in the thing. So I had no idea what they were thinking with this. I don't know. They kind of juxtaposing sex and violence. Okay, yeah, I've never seen that before. So I still recommend the movie. Just roll your eyes at the parts where they try to get all arty-farty on you. But it's a good movie. Another movie is Generation War. Another one from the German perspective. And one of the German Jews escapes from a cattle car heading to the concentration camp. And he ends up with a bunch of Polish underground. And, they go off on missions and things like that. Although, I got to look into the history of this a little more, because in this one, they portray the Polish underground as being just about as anti-Semitic as the Nazis. Like, they want to kill Jews and things like that. And it's like, I don't think that's correct. I think the Polish government, the exile government and things like that had a program for helping out Jews and things like that. So I'm not sure how realistic it is, but I still recommend the Generation War. But that's it. But then of course we come to Norman Davies, Rising 44. And I've only kind of got part way through this. I tried reading it one time. I think I got distracted by something else, and I started reading that instead. And so I went and I started all over again. The first part of this is very good, and it's going to kind of recap the war. And I mean, if you're a war buff, you're going to know all this stuff. But the good thing about it is when he'll come up with the typical. Okay, here's Kursk, here's this battle, all the famous battles and things, but he's always tying in, what was Poland and Poles doing in this time. The game Churchill is really driven by the conferences. And so, is it Casablanca where they first come up with unconditional surrender? I think so, Casablanca. Or was it Tehran? I can't remember. Blanking. But anyway, so we'll talk about it. And the Poles liked unconditional surrender because it meant the Soviets couldn't just, unilaterally do whatever they wanted to Poland. At least that's what they thought at the time. Now, of course, it didn't bear out in the end, but that's how that goes. So this is a very interesting book. We're looking forward to that. And soon I'm going to go ahead and tell them to release Churchill, and hopefully we'll get that played. But anyway, just a little update here, and me just kind of extemporaneously jawing off as I wait for my kids. But anyway, thanks for watching.